Like the MVP trophy race, the competition surrounding who deserves to come away as the NBA's Rookie of the Year is coming down to the wire, as the odds-on favorite to win the award has flip-flopped multiple times all year long. This draft class has definitely lived up to the hype it received in the preseason, and only time will tell how it ends up ranking against the other infamous draft classes of years past. However, what everyone is anxiously waiting for the answer to is who is this year's Rookie of the Year, and in this video, I'm going to be going over every single aspect that makes Scottie Barnes the most deserving of the award. If you disagree with that, be sure to stick around to the end of this video to hear me out, but if you still aren't convinced that he's your Rookie of the Year, let me know below in the comments who you think deserves the award and why. Scottie Barnes entered the NBA as the 4th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft by the Toronto Raptors to what seemed like a controversial pick at the time for the franchise, as everyone projected them to select Jalen Suggs with that pick. But from that point on, Scottie took the NBA by storm and has constantly proved every single one of his critics wrong, as he went on to be the most well-rounded player to come out of this draft class so far, and has already received boatloads of praise from superstars around the NBA, hyping up his potential to an even further extent. On top of the fact that he impacts the game from every aspect on the floor, he's also played a crucial role in bringing the Toronto Raptors back to the playoffs, being the team starting forward all year long, and has helped shape the identity of this up-and-coming Toronto Raptors team that honestly has a serious shot at making a run in the postseason with the team's incredibly annoying defense to play against. Before I dive into why Scottie deserves to become the 3rd Raptor in franchise history to win the Rookie of the Year award, we need to dive into his competition. Well, the guys that do deserve all the credit in the world for their fantastic rookie seasons are Cade Cunningham and Evan Mobley, who will most certainly be all-stars in their careers, just like Barnes, but I just think that when you compare their 3 seasons to one another, Barnes was able to impact the game at a higher level from more aspects, and I'll show you why in just a second. On top of the phenomenal advanced statistics he displayed, which gives him the edge in my opinion, the Toronto Raptors have already clinched the 5th seed or higher depending on how the last couple of games play out, and Mobley and the Cavs are currently in 8th place in the East, have lost 8 of their last 10 games, where they're going to have to play in the play-in to try and make the postseason, and sit just 1 game ahead of the Hornets and the Hawks, where if the Cavs lose and they both win, they could slide down to 10th, meaning they'd have to win 2 straight play-in games to secure a playoff spot. With the Cavs' recent struggles, it's not looking good for them by any means, and Cade Cunningham and the Pistons are no greater, already being eliminated from the playoffs a while back. Cade, Mobley, and Barnes all have a tremendous impact on how their team plays, and I think we all can agree on that. But if you take into account that Scottie might be the only one of these guys on a playoff team putting up the numbers that he has, this is yet another thing that gives him the edge, because especially if you play on a good team, that means you have other guys on the roster taking more of the touches that would be given to you if your team is worse, and the impact of the games that he's playing in is far greater than if you compare to those of the games that Cade Cunningham is playing in. For that reason specifically, that's why Cade Cunningham finishes in 3rd for the Rookie of the Year race for me, as you definitely need to consider this, the fact that he hasn't been able to put up these performances all season, and even just since the Pistons are far worse than the Raptors and the Cavs, there are plenty of empty possessions given to Cade to try and help him develop, which is a great thing for him, but all these things have to be taken into consideration for this conversation. Now, if you look at their traditional stats compared to one another, Mobley and Barnes have quite similar statistics on the year. Both of them split the stats pretty evenly, where the only real difference is Mobley in terms of his blocks per game, but even then, it's not to a substantial enough margin that truly gives either player the edge over one another. But what I do have to say is that Barnes does hold the lead for the most categories of the two. What is also incredible to me is the fact that Scottie Barnes is one of just 4 rookies since 2000 to average 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists throughout an entire season, and all 3 of the other rookies who achieved this were Luka Doncic, Blake Griffin, and Ben Simmons, and all 3 of them came away with the Rookie of the Year award. On top of this, Barnes is also the only rookie ranked top 5 in points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, field goals, and minutes amongst rookies. But where Scottie starts to shift even further away from the rest of the rookies is when you actually dive deeper into the numbers and look at his advanced statistics on this season this year. Scottie is the first out of Mobley and Cade in offensive rating, second in defensive rating, but this inevitably leads him to have the best net rating out of the three, has the most win shares, the highest PER, the highest assist to turnover ratio, highest value over replacement player, highest plus minus, highest true shooting percentage, and then on top of all of this, and makes all of this even more impressive, is the fact that out of the three players, he has the lowest usage rate, meaning that out of his competition for the award, he's statistically a part of less of his overall team's plays during a game. This is something that I made evident in yesterday's video on Nikola Jokic, where the same thing could be said as to why I believed Jokic to be the MVP over Giannis and Embiid is because his usage rate was so much lower than his competition. To put all of this into perspective, Scottie Barnes is quietly having a much better season than we are even noticing out of him, as he practically dominates most of the advanced statistics that all correlate to winning and strong performances in the NBA out of the top rookies this season. Even if advanced stats aren't really your thing, I think he's done enough to show that he is most certainly deserving to win the NBA's Rookie of the Year. He's on the best team out of all three of the top candidates, while also being a main contributor as to why they've been so successful. He leads the most traditional statistic categories, showing that he does have the most complete game out of anyone else in the conversation. And now, after hearing my thoughts on why I think he deserves to win the award, let me know if you agree or disagree with me down below in the comments and why you think that way. Even if Barnes for some reason doesn't win the award, since Mobley has been the favorite for quite some time now, but has recently missed a few games due to injury, so that could change. Just simply looking at Scottie Barnes' play, you can see that this kid is a star in the making for Toronto, and he seriously has the potential to take this franchise to that next level once he continues to develop. Like I've mentioned all video, he's an already incredibly complete player. He has great defensive instincts mixed in with the fact that his size, length, and athleticism allow for him to have the potential to be up there one day within the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. He's a great rebounder. He has a natural instinct to score the ball, using his intelligence and hustle to get easy looks cutting to the basket, or even on the fast break, which gives him the upper hand with his ability to create shots for himself. Still a couple years away, and even then, he's still shown to have the confidence to use his raw skill sets to take defenders on, driving to the rim, or using his size and strength in the post, but nonetheless, you hardly see him take any bad shots. All of these things will improve the more time he spends with the Raptors, as they are known to have one of, if not the best development staffs in the NBA, who have already turned incredibly raw prospects into stars, and Barnes is on pace to join this group of players as well. What completes the Scottie Barnes package and explains the hype surrounding him as a prospect is the fact that he has a tremendously high basketball IQ and passing ability with a handle at a good enough level to bring the ball up and run the offense. While this is also an aspect he'll hopefully improve with time, but Scottie just allows for the Raptors to have unlimited possibilities on the floor the more Scottie develops as a playmaker, being that he can practically do it all. Just before I wrap this video up, there's more than just top end talent in the 2021 NBA draft that I've talked about all video, as this could most definitely go down as one of the best draft classes and compared to those of 1996 and 2003. 13 rookies posted at least 2 win shares this season, 18 players tallied at least 500 points. There are potential all-stars outside of the top 4 and a cast of contributors who all of which should populate NBA rosters across the 2020s and beyond. We're gonna have to wait a couple of years to see how good this class really was, but the influx of talent in the league this season is truly something to behold, and I'm so excited to see where it's going to take the NBA. As always, if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like to help this video get shared along YouTube's algorithm, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more NBA videos like this one that I will be posting multiple times per week. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great night.